and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be sitting down and just talking about what's been going on with me recently, how I've been feeling, how the world has been affecting me after so many months. And I have new makeup to try out. October is my birthday month, so the girls put together money for a gift card from Beauty Bay. So I'm going to be talking and going through this new makeup. I'm just going to do an everyday face, nothing too extravagant, no eyeshadow, no nothing. I just want to talk about how I've been feeling. Before I get into my issues, I'm going to do my brows because I can't do my brows on camera. I will probably need to just skim over it, not speak. I got a new brow product to try out because I want to broaden my brow products. I really want to get the Benefit ones, but until then I got this one. So it is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil, and I got it in ash brown. Colour matching online is pretty difficult, but this is a good match. This is the end of it here. So I'm just going to go do my brows and then come back and we'll get talking about what I want to talk about. So that'll do for my brows. I didn't pick up a new foundation, concealer or powder, but everything else I got brand new. So I'm going to go in with my primer that I picked up, and I picked up the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. And I've never tried anything from The Ordinary before, so I was excited to pick this up and give this a try. I'm going to clip my hair back. Oh, it's a very thick primer. I'm just going to put it on my T-zone areas like usual, but it's very thick and very smoothing. Oh, very smooth on the skin, which is nice, and very cooling as well actually. And the forehead. Hopefully, since it's a thick primer, it can fill in all the lines on my forehead so my foundation doesn't get stuck in it. Okay, so on to what I actually want to talk about. I have a lot. Okay, so I've kind of jotted it down. So basically, the reason I didn't film for about a month, I didn't have motivation. And sometimes I lose motivation, but it doesn't last long because I like give myself the kick, because this is what I enjoy doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not my job, but it's what I enjoy doing. So I can usually get my motivation back very quickly, but for the full month I had none. Like, I had no motivation to put tan on, get ready, anything. I was going to work, coming back and chilling out. That is all I was doing. So I don't know if it's down to this month alone, like October. It's the 31st of October when I'm filming this, but the month of October is my birthday month and it's my favourite month. It's like my birthday, Halloween, like everything amazing happens in October, for me anyway. And obviously the world is a very different place right now, so I think it might have had something to do with that. I don't actually know. I'm going to use this as well. It is the Makeup Revolution Purifying Priming Water with Cannabis Sativa. Give it a wee scoosh. Double primed. So my birthday month, I was so excited. I had things planned with everyone. So the only plan I actually like carried through, I went out for dinner and drinks with Sean on like the 2nd of October, so it was a bit earlier than my birthday, which is on the 14th. So that was great, had fun that night, went to a beautiful restaurant and it was amazing, new favourite restaurant. And then I had planned to do something on the Saturday with the girls. But since it was going to be a group of like 6 of us for a meal and mini golf, I know it is 6 people from 2 households, but there was 6 households going to be there. And then mini golf, and that's when the 10 PM curfew just came in, so kind of decided to just pull the plug on that, and we didn't end up doing that. And then a few weekends later, me and Harry had booked a hotel, escape room and dinner. So that was all hunky-dory. Nothing got cancelled until the restriction of hospitality. So all restaurants were closed, so that was dinner out the way. We didn't really want to get a hotel just to do an escape room, so we ended up cancelling the hotel, and we were still going to go to the escape room and then come back and just have dinner and drinks in the house, until we got an email saying the escape room had to shut as well. So I think that was partly to do with it, and also like everything that's going on in the world. Like, this full COVID thing is just, it's crazy. Like, I remember when me and Sean were going to Paris, and it had just kind of started. So that was the end of February coming into March, so COVID had just kind of started to be spoken about, because when we went to Paris there was some people wearing masks, not a lot, but yeah, it had just started basically, and we all thought, oh, it's fine, it'll pass in a while, it won't be here for ages. And here we are in October, well, going into November now, and it's still here, and there's fear of things like carrying on into next year. Like Christmas is a big worry for a lot of people, and for myself as well. Christmas is a time where all my family get together, so yeah. And I know like this video is going to come across selfish, because I know I'm healthy, my friends, family are all healthy, like I can't complain about that, but like feelings of like disappointment and worry, they're still valid. Do you know what I mean? Just because I've not got COVID, or like any of my close friends and family have got COVID, we're all safe and healthy, I can still have like these feelings. These feelings are still valid. I can still feel like I've wasted almost a year because of different things happening. Like so many holidays this year have been cancelled. Like I know a lot of people aren't as like privileged as that, like I'm sitting here moaning about holidays, but as I said, my feelings of disappointment and worry are still valid. So that's been on my mind a lot recently, the later into the year we're getting. I didn't carve out my eyebrows. You know what, it's fine. It's fine. Didn't carve them out, it's fine. That has been on my mind. Holidays being cancelled, money being lost, and sticking with what I was saying about holidays. Like during summer, I think it was, me and Sean booked our yearly holiday that we take together at the beginning of every year. So we booked to go to Iceland, and we were obviously assuming that this would be not over but more under control, things would be back to like normal. How wrong were we? But now we're getting to November and we're getting really worried about Iceland and if that's going to be off the quarantine list, because we cannot quarantine when we're back. So on the fence about talking about this, because I know there is so much different opinions, whether we should go back into lockdown, whether we should go back to normal. And during the first lockdown I was so for a lockdown, I was so for it, I was sticking to the rules, I was, do you know what I mean, like I was so serious about it because I was scared. Like I wasn't educated, I didn't know what this virus was. Do you know, I was hearing that it was just another flu, and then I was hearing that, oh no, it can kill you. So it is very worrying at the beginning. Now I know a little bit more about it, I'm unsure what I want to happen. I do not want another lockdown, but my friend Sean, at the very beginning, he was like, we should be more like Sweden, like look at Sweden, they're back to normal, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, no lockdowns, like it should be like alright kind of thing. And to begin with, when he told me that, I was like, no, I think we're doing fine, we're being safe, our government's got it under control, like blah 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 blah. Now, the longer we are in this situation, I really think we maybe should be more like Sweden. Because it should be our choice. Like, I believe that, like, if I'm okay to go out and be a frontline worker and work, why shouldn't I be able to live my life by doing what I want, but still staying safe? I'm not saying, like, let's go back to normal, not wear a mask, not social distance, not do anything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying go back to normal under safety measures, do you know what I mean? But maybe that's just me being selfish because I want this to be over. In my lifetime, I've never experienced anything like this, so it is very different and it's scary. It's like the unknown of when this is all going to be over. And again, I know everyone is in the same boat, it's not just me, but I'm voicing my opinions and just talking about what could be the reasons that I was so unmotivated and feeling rubbish this last wee while. There is a lot of things going on with COVID that I'm just like, oh damn, this is sneaky, this doesn't add up. Like, I seen something the other week this girl's mum went to get a COVID test, and she went to the, I don't know what it is, like the testing centre, and there was a queue, and she didn't want to wait in this queue because it was far too long, blah 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 blah. So she went home. A few hours later, or the next day, or whenever it was, it didn't specify when I read it, she got an email or a text through, and it said from her test the day previous she tested positive. And she was like, how can I test positive for a test that I didn't take? So that doesn't add up to me. Also, people buying home test kits and running it under cold water and they're coming back positive for COVID. I'm just unsure. And then the big scandals, obviously, uni students got dropped off positive test kits. I don't know if that was just a mix up and the person who delivered them when they just grabbed the wrong box, but that seems a bit off to me. And also the big thing, like uni students not being allowed to leave their dorms, having to quarantine in their dorms. I just don't think it's right. I don't think uni should still be taking money off of students during this time, because they are not, like, obviously they're still getting an education, but they're not getting like the full package, if you get me. Like, they're lucky if they have one in-person class per week. I would not be happy spending all that money if I had to pay for my university to be sitting on a laptop in a uni dorm that I had to quarantine in. I would not be happy with that. I would want to be at home doing it that way on my laptop. Right, on to the next thing. I just went through my foundation, concealer and powder, but next I have a few bronzer products. Love a good bronzer. So the first one I picked up is the NYX Professional Makeup Matte Bronzer in Deep Tan, and I've heard good things about this. So this is what we look like. It's a very orangey bronzer, which I love, but I just don't think I am tanned enough for this orange of a bronzer today. Then I also picked up this palette. It is by BH Cosmetics and it is a Belgian Waffle Baked Bronzer and Highlight Palette. This is what we look like here. So for bronzer, I'm going to dip in between Batter and Cinnamon and pop that on. Obviously everything with COVID is scary because we don't know what's going to happen. In England, I'm sure today there was a talk of another lockdown. In Scotland, Nicola has brought in a new 5-tier, I think. I've not been paying that much attention. I'm just at the stage that I'm sick of turning on the TV or going on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything, and all it is COVID. Like, what's happening and what's closing, what's open, like where you're allowed to go, travel and everything like that. So I try not to be sucked into it all the time because I've got my own feelings about it. And I was so fine, like during lockdown I was so fine, like I was still out working, I wasn't stuck at home. Like, I know some people love being furloughed, but I would go off my head. But even if we did go into another lockdown, Harry would be working this time because he was out of work for the first lockdown. This time he's got work, so that would be one positive thing, because the first lockdown had a little bit of a strain on our relationship, but we're absolutely brand new now. Like, I think a lot of people's relationships were a bit on the rocks during lockdown. We're not the only couple, I know that, but I don't want another lockdown. I don't think Nicola will implement another lockdown, but I think Boris down in England is talking about another lockdown, which is unfortunate, but I think obviously just uncertainty kind of had its toll on me. But I'm back to normal. Obviously the uncertainty is still there, but I think I'm more clear on what's happening now because we have these different tiers. Okay, this bronzer, it's really nice, it blends out really nicely. So another reason I kind of felt a bit overwhelmed was obviously I work full-time still. I'm a full-time carer for kids with autism, well, children and young people. They're not so much kids that I look after, they're more young people and teenagers. So I still work full time, so it's finding like my work-life balance, because some days I will work 6 days a week. I hate that week at work. My 6-day week, and I have a 5-day week and 2 4s, so it's evenly spread out, but it's finding the work-life balance, especially on a 6-day week. Doing my job, obviously, still full-time at work, and then leaving work at work. That is becoming a big issue for me again. When I started, that was a big problem, but the longer I was there, like I've been there nearly 3 years now, it was easier to leave work at work, like clock out 3 o'clock or clock out at 11 o'clock, and that's me. Like, I don't talk about it, but quite recently it's proven more difficult to leave it at work. Like some nights I'll come home and be really upset, and it can kind of have an issue with me and Harry, because sometimes I don't want to speak about it, sometimes I just want to sit in silence and expect him to read my mind that something's happened at work, but don't ask her about it, but just know that she's upset, you know, typical girl. So that's another thing. Also, I'm doing my SVQ, so it's like being back at college, so it's obviously work, leaving work at home, but then having to come home and write about your work through an SVQ qualification, you know? So there's that, and then there's obviously spending the right amount of time with like my friends, my family, like seeing my mum, like making sure like I'm texting my dad. I've not seen my like girlfriends, like my group of girls, in a while, and I'm just like, I always feel like there's something missing. Like I can go and see Sean, or I'll see them, it's like one or the other, and I don't, it's not like I'm picking, it's like there's not enough hours in the day, there's not enough hours in the week that I feel. And then obviously on top of that, I still need time on my own. Like today I could have made plans to see people, to like go and do something, but today like I've spent filming videos and having time for myself, and like juggling everything, and then also spending quality time with Harry. I think people can be under the impression that because we live with each other we spend every waking minute with each other, when that's not the case at all. Me and Harry barely see each other. Like that's actually sad to say, we hardly see each other due to our different working patterns. Like our shifts are never the same, and then when we're home he needs to spend time on his own and I want to spend time on my own, so the time we actually spend together, it's a bit shorter than I think people think it is. When you live with someone, you're not spending every waking moment with each other. I'm sorry, it's not like that. So juggling all of these things, I've just been really overwhelmed this last wee while. It's crazy. It's just getting myself into like a routine, like not a routine, like kind of weighing up like when have I got time to do this, when have I got time to do this, like. And the biggest thing that's worrying me now is obviously my SVQ, because I've got like deadlines and stuff like that, but I'll get it done. I've got plenty of time, you know. I need to stop stressing and worrying. This is what I tell Sean when he phones me worrying, like stop stressing, you've got plenty of time, you know. And usually when it comes to paperwork and stuff, it takes me like, I don't know, when it comes to paperwork, like randomly one night I'll just be like, oh, I'm really motivated to do this, and I'll just power through it and get it done, and that's fine. So it's just waiting on that motivation to do my paperwork. For blush, this palette I was eyeing up for ages. Oh, it is the BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease palette, and it's the 6 colour blush and highlight palette. It is so nice. Look now. Oh, okay, for blush, I think I'm going to take, oh, Paros is really screaming at me, but it's really bright and I don't want to pop that on just now, so I'm going to go with Mykonos. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you've not let me down. So Mykonos is going on, and I know I'm really hashy when it comes to like bronzer and blush, but it's because I've got this handy brush that I blend everything out with. I don't think I'm ever going to stop that, like ever. So yeah, that is what's been on my mind recently, what's been like making me not film. Like, and I've had time to film if I wanted to, but I've just not like obviously had the motivation, and I have spent a lot of time just chilling, relaxing, try to spend as much time as I can with Harry when we both finish work. So that's what's been happening recently. I don't know if there's anything else I kind of need to get off my chest that I've not already said. I feel like this video is a lot more structured than my last one. My last one was all over the place. And as I said, I know some of the things I spoke about in this video may come across as selfish, and I know that's fine. I'll say it before anyone else wants to say it. I know some of the things I said were selfish, and I know it can seem selfish, moaning about like money or holidays being cancelled or plans being cancelled, and I know I'm so lucky that that is what I'm worrying about. I'm not worrying about one of my loved ones being on a deathbed with COVID or being really ill with COVID. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not worrying. I don't need to worry about that. Do you know, that's not happening in my life. And I'm so lucky and grateful that I don't need to worry about that. And I'm lucky that my worry is when my next holiday is going to be and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it needs to be deemed selfish for me to be worrying about holidays, because I have lost a lot of money due to holidays, and that's not because I booked during COVID. Like, these holidays were booked before COVID, and I've lost money just due to Ryanair. Thanks for that. And I work hard for my money, do you know what I mean? Like my wage isn't the best. Like, I'm not at my job for money. Like, I love doing what I do, so losing a big portion of money plus having to run a house, do you know what I mean? Me and Harry are 24, we have our own house, we've got bills to pay, food to buy, like, I've still got things to do during life, so losing money due to COVID is a bit of a kick in the teeth. So it's selfish and it's not selfish. I know how horrible it is. Like, people are dying, people are terminally ill, people have lost businesses. Like, there are so much bigger problems going on than my wee problems, but to you, small problems are big problems to me that I've been worrying about. Okay, that was a ramble. Oh my god. Right, I'm going to go back to the Belgian waffle palette for highlight. Oh, they're so nice. I'm going to mix both powdered sugar and syrup and use that for my highlight. There'll be controversy through all of this. Oh, another thing I want to talk about, going back to COVID again, I'm sorry, I know I said I'm sick of hearing about it, but these are just my thoughts. I've seen people saying everything's going to be fine when we get a vaccine. Things might be better when we get a vaccine for COVID, but if you look at it, if that's your way of thinking, we have a flu vaccination and it's flu season right now. Thousands of people still die from the seasonal flu every single year with a vaccine. So tell me again how everything's going to be fine when we get a vaccine. So that's why I'm on the fence of just letting us go back to normal. If we're going to have to live with this virus like we live with the flu, let us go back to normal. Allow the people that need to shield, like, have furlough schemes in there for people, and have like payment plans in there for people that need to shield. Like, oh, I'm so on the fence, I really am. Like, I want to be safe, I want my family and friends to be safe. Like, just life is so frustrating, and I think it's because I've never been through anything like this in my lifetime. It's scary, it's all new. Right, anyway, I'm rambling again, talking about the same thing over and over. I got another Makeup Revolution product, and it is a calming makeup fixing spray with cannabis sativa or sativa, however you say it. Don't know if it's actually showing you, but I'm going to set this in place, not as if it needs to be, but whatever. It's got a weird smell to it. Oh, and it's leaking. Why are you leaking? It's kind of left little watermarks on my head. Anyway, okay, last product. I'm going to curl my lashes first and then we'll get into it. So the last product I got is a mascara, and it is the NYX Doll Eye Mascara Long Lash Allongeant. I'm not sure about this wand. Right, let's give it a go. It doesn't feel like it's like brushing through my lashes. It's still coating my lashes, but like, I like feeling the brushes go through my lashes. I'm really not sure about this mascara. Yeah. I wouldn't rush out and buy this again if it ran out. Right, lastly, lips. I didn't get a new lipstick either because I have plenty. So I think I'm just going to shove on... Whirl? Will I put Whirl on? Yeah. Not even got to bother with a lip liner. Whirl right on. That'll do. So, let's take these clips out. Ow. So that is my makeup complete, trying out new products from Beauty Bay. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope my rambles didn't annoy you too much. I just needed to get a lot of things off my chest and give a wee explanation of why I didn't film for a month. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe because I could really do with your support. So until next time, I'll see you in my next video.